Good morning. We're just going to do a little review of yesterday. You guys are such great students. You're always remembering everything. Okay. Do you remember what we've been discussing from yesterday? Allergies, very good. And everything we covered yesterday, that's just step one of getting to the allergies, to the root of the problem. Now, how many steps did I tell you there were? 5. There's 5 steps. In most cases, step number 1 is sufficient. It works for most people. And culprit number 1, what did we say culprit number 1 was of allergies? Dairy products. 60 to 70% are allergic to dairy. When you get rid of the dairy, in most cases, the allergies for most people are gone. Number 2 is what? Fish. Number 3 was shellfish, remember? Okay. So these are the foods, and the last item that we talked about was chocolate. Do you remember the ingredient I said chocolate had? Did you guys write that down? Oh, okay. Let me tell you. It's phenylethylamine. Phenylethylamine.
What was that? For what?
For chocolate.
Oh, yeah.
Because some people will say, but not all chocolate has caffeine, which is true. The pure chocolate doesn't have caffeine, a lot of the pure stuff, but it all has this, which stimulates the central nervous system and can have a negative effect. So what do we use in place of chocolate?
Carrot.
We use carrot, right? So chocolate substitute. Now, there's a lot of people who don't like the taste of carrot. People who've gone from chocolate to carrot, they don't care for it. There's a way you can make it taste like chocolate. There's 2 ways I found. If you use the pure maple syrup and add it into your carrot recipe, that really makes the carrot taste like chocolate. And also almond extract. Almond extract is another thing people use to make the carrot taste like chocolate. What's the other one?
Okay, have you heard of green arrow? That's green.
Harrow. Is that a coffee substitute?
Yeah.
Yes.
It's made of, oh, yeah.
Yes, and so most of 2.
You mix
Okay.
that with carrot.
Grain Perro. P-E-R-O-T?
No, P-E-R-O.
Oh, P-E-R-O. And also postum.
Yes. Those things.
Okay. If you use these items and combine it. Now, I don't find honey makes it taste like chocolate. For some people might, but for my children, I use honey in everything that I make sweet, and they do not like the carrot. But when I put either, well, I got away from the almond extract, but some people still use it. But when I use the maple syrup, the pure maple syrup, my children love it. So for those who have a problem with carrot, or people are saying,
Yeah, carrot and honey.
well, it tastes like chocolate in the candy.
Have you tried peanut butter and carrot?
That's what she uses. It's very good. Okay, so we're going to erase this for now. Now we're going to go back to what the definition of allergies are. Okay, allergies are an ingestion of a substance that triggers a response within our bodies. Our immune system was intended to be a first-line defense for our bodies. It was supposed to prevent us from being exposed to things that could be harmful to us. So, our immune system is constantly on alert. Remember, we were talking about the antibodies of the cow, and when you ingest the cow milk or anything of the cow, the body says, I'm not familiar to this, and will attack. The antibodies in the cow milk will do the same thing to you. So you'll have 2 attacks going on at the same time. That's why diabetes type 1 is very high in who? Children.
Oh, yeah.
Type 1 diabetes, because their body doesn't have the immune system built up like we do. And therefore, when they consume the formula, which has cow milk in it, derivatives from the cow milk, it attacks their body, and that's why a lot of them are getting type 1 diabetes. And do you guys remember last week what we said else you get from drinking milk? 84% of the dairy was tested and had leukemia. 50% of those cows had AIDS. Are we in a time where it's safe to any longer eat and consume these products and drink the milk? No, that time has come. Okay, so going on. If something comes in the body that could trigger an allergic response, it goes from alert to high alert. And that's why I was saying even the tiniest thing for some people can be major to where they get into anaphylactic shock. Anaphylactic shock is telling the body something's wrong. It's the severest of the allergies. Do you guys remember what we talked about yesterday? That I've been told, I've never tried it, but I've heard from several sources, 2 things that you can do when someone goes into anaphylactic shock.
Teacher,
Cayenne pepper.
Cayenne pepper tincture.
And the Lobelia.
And lobelia. Yes, cayenne pepper. Actually, a dropper full. Dropper full. Huh? The cayenne, I'd probably do a half, baby. Because we're talking a life-threatening situation here, so you have to be aggressive with it. It's going to be hot for them, but it's going to save their lives. Cayenne pepper tincture, and what's the other one? Lobelia. Now, in the world, do you know what they use for this? Somebody's having the swelling and the itchy, they give them Benadryl. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not into medicine. I'm anti-medication. But if somebody's going into anaphylactic shock and this is all that's within reach, I will give this to them. I don't support medicine.
Can you give that for anaphylactic shock?
Yes. Well, when the beginning stages is the hives and the swelling and the itchy, this will stop it immediately. Now, I do not support medication. Spirit of prophecy speaks against it. But when you're dealing with a life-threatening situation on the spot, and if this is all that's available, that's why, as medical missionaries, we need to keep stuff in our bags. And as we go through the classes, we'll be learning what we should. But for those in the world who don't know these things, they're using this, and this works to stop the itching and swelling, but it later has the other side effects down the line. Because when you take medication, we're told it can cause lifelong problems. But this is what the world uses. There's one thing I was going to say. Slipped my mind. Okay. Oh, epinephrine. Epinephrine. They give an epi shot. Now, I believe this epinephrine comes from animals. It's what they're using. But in the hospitals, they'll give an epi shot. My girlfriend's daughter, she gets the swelling and the itching. She carries an epi shot pen in her case. And so that's another thing that they use as well. Alrighty, now let's make sure we understand what an allergic reaction is. It's some chemical, whether you ingest it, inhale it, whether you have contact on your skin, that stimulates a portion of your body to respond, and your body responds by releasing other chemicals. This is where the histamine kicks in. Protective factors, trying to get rid of whatever's stimulating you. So you may get some diarrhea, trying to get it out. If you inhaled something, you may get a runny nose or rhinorrhea. Trying to get whatever is stimulating your body out. If you get it on the skin, you may get a reaction like what? Rash, hives and rash and stuff like that. Okay, did you know that if you keep your body inflamed, do you know what tests, and when we come to the labs, we're going to be learning more about labs. But do you know what tests tell us? What sedimentation rate. It's called a sedimentation rate. And when your sedimentation rate stays high.
Finish your sentence. What kind of test tells what?
Oh, the sedimentation rate is a test that they use to check for allergies and inflammation and stuff like that.
Oh, okay.
They use it to check to see how inflamed you are. And the higher the sedimentation rate stays, it causes inflammation in your body. It leads to arthritis. It can cause plaquing of the arteries, as well as other ailments. They normally tie in one to another. The spices mentioned, remember we were talking about the spices yesterday? Those can have an effect as well. Remember we were talking about the spices and the nutmeg. Do you guys remember what the nutmeg does? Anyone remember?
This is stimulant that gets you high.
Yes. Yes, it has myristicin in it. Absolutely. And there was an article that came out on the 9th of December. No, the 2nd of December. So that was just 10 days. I believe this is the way. It's either this, myristicin, or it's Y. M-E-R-Y-S-T-I-C-I-N. There you go. I think this is the way right here. Okay. Now, we're going on to step 2. In step 1, we finished with the chocolate, as I mentioned earlier before. So, when you've done all the items listed in step 1 that we mentioned yesterday, the cheeses, the spices, the additives, the dairy, the fish, the shellfish was first. What else did we mention? Eggs. Do you guys remember how many days one egg will cause you to be inflamed for? 30 days. One egg can cause inflammation for up to 30 days. That's very common.
So when you eat some eggs 3 times a week.
Yes, you're really going to have some inflammation. And see, a lot of people don't relate inflammation to eggs. They relate it to other things, but not eggs. So a good thing to get in the habit is when you hear people say, oh, my hands are swollen, or I have inflammation. What did you eat? Find out what they ate. You're studying to be a doctor, right? So this would be good information for you. Always getting to the root of the problem. That is the key that we want to do here. Now, going on to step 2. This is going to be getting into the good foods that are considered healthy to eat, that we as vegetarians, vegans eat. Number 1 item. When you've done all of step 1, and as I said before, most people, when you cover step 1, it eliminates the problem. Some are more severe. It's 5 steps that you have to go through. Once you've gone through all these steps, the problem is gone. Inflammation is gone, allergies are gone. So step 2. Food number 1 is honey. There are many people allergic to honey.
That should not be given to
Babies under 1. That's right. It can cause botulism. Honey should not be given to children under 1 year old. It can cause botulism. It can kill them. But there are people who are allergic to honey and don't even realize it. So when you've eliminated everything now, as vegans, we don't eat any of that stuff. So this would be step number 1 for us. If we find ourselves allergic, actually I think wheat is up there, but they have it lower. But I think wheat is one of the main causes as well. And we'll get to that. But honey. Now, what can you use in substitution of honey?
Agave.
Actually, they're finding out that agave nectar is not healthy.
yeah.
It is factory made, and it is altered when it is made, and it does the same, it has the same harmful effects in the body, the same way that corn syrup does. You've heard about corn syrup, right? How detrimental it is to the health. They're finding that agave nectar is not good. Stevia, you can use stevia. Stevia, you say potato, I say potato. Some people call it stevia, some people call it stevia. Yes, that's an excellent maple syrup, pure maple syrup. It's good if a person's not diabetic and it's not affecting them. Some people even will go as far as molasses. That's a little bitter for me, you know, to have as a sweet. Some people like it. So honey is the first thing. Okay. The number 2 is gluten. Now when I say gluten, I don't mean like your gluten steaks and your gluten products. I'm talking about like your wheat. This is number 2 they're saying. Your barley, your rye. Okay, these are items. People have what's called gluten intolerance. Now gluten steaks, where, do you guys know what